Do we need to wave?
No. Hey everyone, it's Sky, and this is my persuasive speech, and it is titled The 5 Freedoms, and it is about the European Union and their 5 freedom laws. So I'm going to start with a quote by Mahatma Gandhi, and it says, "The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way that they treat their animals." And I just wanted to give y'all like a picture of this kind of scenario. So imagine living in a house where it's literally big enough for just you. You can't turn around, you can't like stretch out your legs or anything. It's just big enough for you to stand, and that's it. So that is how most animals live in cages or wherever they are kept when they are in farms, zoos, circuses. And my speech is to speak about how America could do better animal care and housing wise. So I'm going to talk about 3 of the 5 laws and how Europe treats their farmed animals better than America. So the first law, the 3 laws that I'm going to talk about are the freedom from hunger and thirst, the freedom to express normal behavior, and freedom from discomfort. So the first one is the freedom from hunger and thirst, which basically sounds exactly how it is. They are freely, and water and food is readily available to all animals. And in Europe, they, according to the European Union Treaty number 087, they have a committee that kind of goes around and makes sure that Europe is following this law. So not only are they implementing the law for animals to always have the food and water that they need, they make sure that it is actually being implemented by sending people around and making sure. And the treaty came into like a law or a treaty in 1978. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is the freedom to express normal behavior, which obviously means that the animals can freely live how they would in the wild. And obviously, as you know, America, we have circuses, we have zoos, we have farm animals, which the farm animals kind of do live how they would in the wild, but in the circuses and the zoos, not so much, because they are caged more than obviously they would be in the normal, or they would be normally. So this is sufficient space, proper facilities, and company of other animals. So not only do animals in the circus not have the proper space, they also don't really have the opportunity to react with other animals because they're usually the only ones of their species. Europe actually is hoping to practice cage-free farming, and that is going to be joined. They have joined the Open Alliance, the Open Wing Alliance, and actually, according to the article that I found this from, mortality and morbidity are extremely high due to detrimental housing conditions. So that is why they are hoping to be able to practice the cage-free environment. And the third one that I'm going to talk about is the freedom from discomfort, which is allowing according to the Bramwell report of December of 1965, allowing animals to stand up, lie down, turn around, groom themselves, and stretch their limbs is what this freedom from discomfort law is all about. This includes where they are kept regularly and during transport. So basically, just the other day, actually yesterday, on my way down back home, I passed a semi-truck that had a bunch of cows in it, and literally there was no space for the cows to move whatsoever. They were just jam-packed in there, all shoved in one little area, and it was actually really sad in my opinion. So Europe has something called the Stop the Truck movement, and they have, according to my source of farm animals, page 2, they have scientific evidence that shows that the stress of transport weakens the immune system, making animals even more vulnerable to disease. So not only are they uncomfortable in the truck, they can actually be getting more sick from being that closely compacted in the trucks. And so Europe is definitely really trying to fight to have animal livestock transport replaced. So they would rather not use trucks for transporting the animals. I guess what they're going to try to do is have trailers and have less animals to transport so that it's not as high risk. I did read an article that said that in America they can transport for up to, I want to say, 28 hours without letting the animals out at all. But after they hit that 28-hour mark, they have to let the animals out to get water and stretch. So, although I mainly focused on Europe, they are not the only country that does have these laws. There are other ones, but I just didn't have enough time in my report or in my speech to discuss them. And I just wanted to kind of persuade us as Americans to try and have more of an implement of these laws, not necessarily have all of them because that's a lot to do all at once, but I think that we should definitely have a little bit more of a freedom of animals and how they live, because the earth is not made for just human beings, it's made for all beings. And so again, I reviewed 3 of the 5 laws, and it was the freedom from hunger and thirst, the freedom to express normal behavior, and the freedom from discomfort. So I definitely think that animals have the right to these laws because they are living beings too. How about you? Thank you guys for listening.